Well, rest is required. Rest is mandatory. Rest is self-care, and it is part of the formula for vibrant health. It's just as important as eating well, staying hydrated, watching your sugar, getting your annual checkups. And maybe even the most important thing, rest is a requirement. That's it. So you
First and foremost, I thank you for sharing things with me as we go. If you can recall, I believe that we get to know each other for at least 4 to 5 years. Yeah, during the COVID time.
yeah.
And the way I get to know you is probably from your first class, the passion test class. I was really amazed, impressed with the way how the class is conducted because of you. The energy and the passions, and also the way how the message is conveyed, because I believe that you are the person who really practical, not about teaching whatever in the subject, but really share your own experience and what is the best way for each and individual to do that. And after that time, you also generously offer some of your mentoring or coaching sessions, all for all your students. Yeah, I can sense that you really go beyond just yourself, really wanted to help the students, the community to get better as well. Yeah, this is how we get connected, at least 4 to 5 years back. Yeah. And thank you for doing this, because without you doing this teaching and reaching out, I would not know you, like, don't know how many thousands or 10,000 of miles away from where I stay in
Yeah.
Penang.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's a passion, so I love doing it, and I know it makes a difference for others, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing for everybody. I'm glad that we got connected too, because I've learned a lot from you as well, and I'm excited to be on this podcast with you.
Yeah, fantastic. And Ratika, just to give a quick context, probably for the audience that we for our audience here, please share a bit about yourself, and probably a bit of your bring up, your background that probably you are not really talked to so much. Yeah, will you do that? Yeah, about yourself and
Yeah, sure. Well, my parents were born and raised in India, and they got married and came to the US. So I'm first generation Indian, and I grew up in the Midwest. My parents, my sister, and me. And you know, I went to school. I was a good student. I went to college. I originally wanted to be a doctor, and then in high school, I realized I could not dissect one of the animals we were dissecting in biology. So I thought, okay, that's not going to be a good place for me to be. And my mom, she's pretty wise for the 90s. Yeah, early 90s. She said, you know, computers are up and coming and you like math, so you should go into engineering. And I think you should go into computer engineering. So I did that. I mean, I was good at math, but I think I have enjoyed being with people and helping people since the very beginning. So I went through school and I got my degree, my engineering degree. Um, but it it wasn't always easy. Uh, I did okay, and then I took some time to work at Intel while I was in school. And when I came back to school after that, I was still on work hours. And so my core foundation of engineering wasn't super solid, and engineering builds on itself. So each year got a little bit harder, and I worked really hard and I got my B's. But in the final lab class, I noticed that I don't really know how to troubleshoot. I don't feel super successful. I can build the things, but if they don't work, I can't figure out why they don't work. And I didn't like that feeling. So When I had the opportunity to join Intel full time, I knew I didn't want to do it as an engineer. I didn't want to feel that way in my career that I don't know what I'm doing. So I joined the sales and marketing program, and I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed connecting with customers um, and creating relationships with them. And on the side, I get to teach my classes at Intel, which is really great. I think high tech is a pretty stressful place to be, and the corporate world can be brutal. And so I think classes like learning about your passions or building resilience or any personal growth and development classes like that are really important to take time and pay attention. It's easy to go through life unintentionally and just
Mm,
kind of doing the next thing that comes along, but taking the moment to pause to look at these things can create all the difference in just going through the motions of life and living a life that we create. So I love that I get to do that at Intel and even sometimes to the public now. I did it a few times before my kids were born, but then I didn't. I didn't want to take any time away from them. And I've just started again in the last year or two. Um,
mm,
I think it's a good thing for everyone to pay attention to. So I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter. My parents live nearby, so I've been very lucky to get to spend a lot of time with them, and they, get to see my kids. And um, there are new challenges as my parents get older that I'm starting to face here. I'm a lifelong learner, so all of this that I share comes from what I've learned and practiced myself. So I'll attend a class or I'll read a book or listen to an audiobook or a podcast. And if I hear something I like, I'll try it. And if it works, I'll share it.
mm, mm. Thanks for sharing. And then and they're glad to hear that your parents are nearby. That means that they are here still here with you. And sometimes we measure about the time that we are going to have with them with the number of years that are possible they are going to be here in this world. However, it's probably a better measurement about what are the time spent, uh, not the remaining time available. Yeah, something really to ponder about, not get the moment slip away. This both end, the kids growing up very fast, the parents growing old also very fast. So yeah.
Yeah, my dad just turned 83 yesterday, and we took him out to dinner. And yeah, every minute that I can spend talking to him and that my kids can spend around him, I think is really, really cool. I took my mom to the Grand Canyon last year. That was on her bucket list. And so I took her. She said, "You plan, I'll pay." I said, "Deal." So I got to take her to my happy place, Sedona. And then from there we did a day trip to the Grand Canyon. And I mean, she was in tears. Like I think she had kind of given up on that ever seeing the Grand Canyon. So it was pretty special to get to take her.
That's great. I can sense the feelings that you sense, like very blessed. No, it's easier. Sometimes it's much more meaningful to go there, experience ourselves, than have this thing imagine in our mind. Yeah.
100%. 100%. I mean, the magnificence of nature, especially at that level, something like the Grand Canyon or the mountains or, something that big is so, I find it very humbling and also very awe-inspiring to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. And happy birthday to your dad as well. So happy belated birthday to your dad. Yeah, really
Yeah,
amazed that
thank
it's really amazing that they keep themselves alive for all of y'all. Yeah.
That's exactly what my dad said. He said it's pretty amazing that I'm still here at 83. He's pretty proud of himself.
Fantastic. And Ratika mentioned about intention, um intention. There's a few classes that you have conducted the passion test and things like that. It might be your own experience. What will be you advise or says to a person who probably a bit lost at the juncture of pivoting, might not be as lucky as you that you figure out, all right, having a stress, having the solution, you still can't find a solution, something that you don't want, but some people just have to do that because something that happened. What would you advise, or what you thought your thought is for the first people who are lost and in juncture of their life? I'm not sure they're going to pivot or what they're going to do. What how would you advise them or talk to them?
I'm a lover of clarity, and I don't know that I can tell anybody who's lost what to do. I I also believe that we all walk such different paths. We have different experiences. And so someone who's lost, when I have been lost, when I have not known what do I do now, I find it always helpful to sit quietly. And like with the practice we teach, quick coherence, it gets us down into our hearts. And so many answers are there, sitting there and praying or meditating on clarity and seeing what comes from that. Sometimes it's a matter of going through life, but being a little more aware, noticing what are the things that make me smile, what are the things that make me happy, and how can I bring those into my life a little bit more. I guess it kind of depends on what they're lost about. If you're lost with your career or lost in a relationship or um, lost in grieving or lost in parenting, I know that one. Um, Sometimes it's useful to imagine what is the ideal? What do I really want? What's my end goal here? How do I want to feel? And that can start to open some doors or allow for some ideas to come through for what to do next.
How did you do it? You mentioned about you have been lost before. What's your workflow of there? If you Yeah, you mentioned you've been lost before. What is your workflow about getting clarity? Um, Maybe about some mindset as well.
I'm a I tend to see the silver lining pretty easily, and I don't like to be upset. I don't like to have bad feelings in me. And so I make a lot of stuff up to make myself feel better. I give myself a lot of different perspectives or ways of looking at things so that I can be with the things I don't like. Because I can't change anything outside of me. I can't control anything outside of me. So one of the people I've learned a lot from is Dr. Shefali. She teaches conscious living, and she says, when you don't like a situation, you only have three options. You can accept it, you can change it, or you can leave it.
Hmm.
And so a lot of the things fall in the accepted category. A lot of like specifically what you were describing, if you can't change it or leave it, you're stuck with it. Then the only thing left to do is accept it, and that's pretty powerful, very powerful. So getting back to your question, a time when I was lost. I think I could say in my career I was feeling actually, yeah, worse than lost. I was lost and irritated. I didn't like my job. Uh, and I was doing sales. And so for a while, my reframing was not that I'm here to sell chips and run through roadmaps and get pricing and supply and all of that, but I was calling on small customers, local small local customers. So, these weren't big multinationals. This was like a very close-knit companies, several of them. And so their employees all lived, they could have been my neighbors. We were all in a very close area, and they were very family oriented. And so I really thought about, I'm coming here to help everybody here make money so that they can feed their children.
Mm.
So when I reframed it like that, it made my job so much more meaningful. I like to do things that have purpose, that have meaning, and my own life mission is to inspire passionate living in the hearts of the willing, so we all bring our light to the world. So just selling chips doesn't do that. But when I think about, I'm enabling these people to shine their light in their families, then that is what helped me do that job better. And then, the other thing is, as long as we're upset about something, we can't think very clearly. We can't come up with new ideas. And so once I could even do that, then I could come up with other ideas. And so one of the things I came up with was, let me teach my classes more at Intel. So my job gets me in the door and it gives me access to all of these wonderfully smart people who are stressed out. And so it's a wonderful place for me to bring the gift of my classes to.
Mm.
So I guess my process was to recognize that I wasn't going to leave my job and I wasn't going to change it. So I had to accept that this is my job. So I guess the first thing is deciding which of those three things you're going to do. And then for me, it was accepting. So then the next thing to do is to reframe it in a way that is more aligned with my values. And then from there, I think a lot of other things can open up, new ideas can open up from there.
So practically, if I go through whatever that you said just now, it will give you to be more a neutral emotion, like you don't feel very upset and sad or annoyed of the work. So you when accept it. The second phase, you do the reframing. It's something that elevate you from neutral to at least a bit pleasant. Am I right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when there and then you have some actions items about you are doing additional classes and then you are serving people. So it propels you. Then my question is that after the reframing, how you I don't should have force yourself or figure out your action plan. Where are you? What are you going to do? Right. So it can be, I put myself in your shoe that it can be very broad, a few things that you can do or you can't do, and then you feel stuck. How you move your feeling up, and then how you act upon what you think you wanted to do. So how you force yourself, I'm not sure, force yourself.
Um, well, actually, I don't like to force the action. If I come up with something that's inspiring, I won't have to force myself, right?
Yeah.
It'll be something I want to do.
Yeah.
So it's more about sitting in the feeling of the thing and feeling good and being open to what
Mm.
ideas may come to me from that and what opportunities might come. I believe in a higher power, and so I believe that my higher power is always talking to me through different people or different situations that come up. And so when I say, I'm looking for this, I need this, then I wait and I keep my eyes open to what's possible, um, and try different things out. And, I can't do all the things at once. So there's applying a bit of reality to it. I just got a text from a friend of mine today who was saying, hey, I think there's this great person I could introduce you to. I think you have a lot in common and, you could really work with them or collaborate with them. And I was thinking, my intention for this year is about slowing down. So I don't know that now is the time. And I know that the next few months are going to be very busy for me. So I said, yeah, I definitely want to talk to her and maybe in a little bit. not just yet. I need to sit for a little while. So I think there's being clear about what we want for the period of time that we're in, and then being open to what arises and figuring out what to do with it from there. But inspired work.
When you sit and listen to your heart, Ratika, and then you figure out the action there, how you what you do in order to keep the actions pleasant, that you will continue committed to follow that action.
Well, sometimes it's not pleasant. Some of the things I have to do are hard. Living a passionate life isn't always a glamorous life. Athletes who wake up at 4 in the morning to run in the rain, that's not pleasant. It wouldn't be for me anyway. Maybe it is for them, but not all of the work that I do or the steps that I take are always what I want to do. Like tomorrow, I'm teaching our coherence advantage resilience class at 7 a.m. Like
Mm,
that's early. And I mean, I could wake up and work out and have a slower morning rather than starting to teach a class at 7 a.m. But I do it because there are people in Europe who can't come to my class if I teach it at 9 or 10 in the morning. And
mm,
my mission is to offer these classes to anybody who wants them. So it's not going to be great. I'm not driven by the action. I'm driven by who I am. Who I
mm.
am is someone who shares these things so that others can live a great life and that impacts the people around them. So that's what I do. I think knowing our why for anything we do is important, and that comes back to clarity. When we're really clear about who we are, what we want to bring to the world, even to our world, right? I mean, another example is parenting. Parenting is so hard. I have to do things I really don't want to do. My personality is very much to avoid conflict, and I have two teenage boys. So there's a ton of conflict to be had if I don't do it right. And I don't know how to do it right all the time. And sometimes I have to do things that I don't want to do. I mean, I'm not a sporty girl. I'm a dancer. I'm not an athlete. And my kid says, let's go play basketball. That is highly unpleasant for me. But connecting with my kid, that's what I'm here for. That's my number one job. So it what drives me is my identity. Who am I? I'm the kind of mom who connects with her kid. So I will
Mm.
do the things I have to do that. Now I might say, I will play out there with you for 10 minutes and then let's go play a game inside. Or, I might strike a deal of some kind, or I will honor my boundaries too. I mean, thinking about it, like if I'm just being a baby about it, that's one thing. But, there's some boundaries to honor myself. And there are always ways to say, I love you and I love me.
Thanks for sharing the I am who I am really strikes me about getting the values, the identity, and what we do for. We'll revisit again the parenting later on probably the second half. I think we can share a lot of similarity. And even your concept of avoiding conflict, this is exactly who I am. I mean, I'm more person of harmony. I put myself in harmony. So, um, uh, and still figuring out how to teach 8 years old this year. But we will see that on the second half. And Ratika, share with me when you say slowing down, what does that means to you? You're slowing down this year.
Well, I'd like to think I am, but we'll see. Last year was supposed to be my year of Shavasana. So the year prior, so that was 2024, was a big year of change and I went through a very intense spiritual training, I guess you could say, and lots of emotional healing. That was 2024. So 2025, I needed to just rest. So it was my year of Shavasana. That's what I said in January of
Vipassana means
2025.
what is it?
Shavasana is it's the last pose you ever do in any yoga class where you lay still.
Ah,
And it
okay.
is so that all of the work you did in class can be integrated. Your body just rests to integrate everything that it just did. So in the same way, I needed 2025 to be slow so that I could rest and integrate all the things that I learned in 2024 and practice them and be with them and, let those lessons be who I emerged as. Now, I guess my higher power had other plans because 2025 was not the year of rest. It was the year of everything is going to be new and different. So now 2026, I have said, needs to be the year to slow down, settle into all the changes. I feel like every aspect of my life changed last year. So much is not like it was. And
Hmm.
and simplifying. So those are my three things for this year. Clarity, right? So I teach a class on reflections and intentions. We reflect on the previous year and set intentions for the new year. And one of the parts of setting your intention for the new year is having a guiding principle for the year. My guiding principle for 2026 is slow down, settle in, and simplify. So, what the slowing down part looks like for me is on a weekend, I just have one thing I want to get done on each day. In the
Hmm.
past, I would have a whole list of things, kind of 10 things on my list, and I would get five of them done. And then I'd get six other things done that weren't on the list, but I wouldn't give myself credit for actually getting 11 things done because I didn't get the five things on my list, the other five on my list done. There's a lot of
Hmm.
things. And it was like my weekends were planned minute to minute. Like from this time to this time, I'm doing this. From this, like there was no room to just slow down and be. So last year, I decided I'm going to have one thing. If nothing else gets done on Saturday, this one thing has to get done. And same with Sunday. And that was really, really nice. From that perspective, I did get to slow down. There was a lot happening outside of me that created a lot of change, not a lot of slowing down, but at least the part I have control over, I did something about. So my weekends last year were slower than they'd ever been in my life, probably.
I will be a bit I will be a bit anxious if I look at I only have one thing in the list. How would you how do you come to one thing, and how can you be good be okay with one thing? Okay.
Being at peace with letting
Yes.
go of
Yeah,
all
be
the other
please.
things.
So first question is that how can you select the one thing? What is that is or probably an example? And the next, how can you be peace? There's only one thing.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, I think those go hand in hand. So I am a very big planner. If I don't have a plan, I won't do anything and nothing will get done. And so in my class, after we figure out what our guiding principles are, then we determine what our identity is in the different aspects of our life. That's what I shared with you before. I'm a mother who connects with her kids. I'm a lifelong learner. I'm
Mm,
a person who nurtures her body for vibrant health, right? So things like that. And then from our identity, we then determine what are the intentions we want for the year. What are the things we want to do physically, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, in our career, with our finances, in our relationships. There's another one, experiences. Like, what are all those things we want to experience in the year? And then we
mm,
list those out, kind of
mm,
brainstorm, see what we want to do,
mm,
and then we plan it. So actually, I've got mine right here, right? So
mm.
all of my identities for each of the aspects of my life, I have an identity statement, and then I have the different intentions, the different things I want to do. Now,
Okay.
the next step is looking at each one of these and planning them. Like, in which month am I going to do these things? If it's a new habit, in which month am I going to start it? And so then I have my planner. Is my planner. I'm old
Mm.
school. I
Yeah.
pencil
Yeah.
and paper. And in the margin here for each month, so this is January.
Yeah.
My planner's always like this, like I can see the month all at once. And then in
Mm.
this margin, you can't really see it, but there's a margin here. In
Yeah, I
the
can see the
margin,
notes. Yeah.
this is where I write down from my intentions. I'll plot out what am I going to do in January because there's a lot of stuff on my intentions. I'm not going to do them all in January. But if I don't plan when I'm going to do them, I won't do them at all.
Mm.
And so I go through my year. I'm not quite done. I'm almost done. Um, and I'll write down what am I going to do this month? Which of these am I going to do? Keeping in
Mm.
mind things like September is my birthday month. I'm not doing anything in September. I'm playing the whole month of September. And October is my kid's birthday, and oftentimes Diwali's in there and Halloween is in there. So those are three things I need to prepare for. So that's already a lot of stuff. And then November has Thanksgiving, and then December is the holidays, right? So basically, and my anniversary is in August, and so is when the boys start school. And this year they're starting high school. So
Wow.
for
Mm.
me, like August on, I'm not going to do any new projects. Like there just won't be time. This is a sign of slowing down. Like I will not put things in there. So I have two classes that I want to take that are going to take a few months to complete. So those
Mm.
have to come in the first half of the year because they
Mm.
won't get done if they're in the second half,
Yeah.
right? So I'm plotting out when am I going to do the things. Then I can look. I mean, I'm staring at this all the time. It's always right wherever I am. Like if I'm working at home, it's on my desk at home. If I'm at work, it's on my desk at work. And I start
Wow.
looking through them and I can say, okay, when am I going to do this thing? When am I going to do this thing? And then I can see, okay, I can only put one of these on Saturday and one of these on Sunday, and maybe not even one. Like if
Mm.
the day is full with the kids' activities, let's be real. I'm not going to get any of it done. So I won't even put it down. I won't set myself up for failure that way.
Mm.
And so when I look at just what I need to do in January, it's a lot easier to say, when am I going to do each of these things? And what has me be at peace with it is knowing that all the things I want to do will get done. I've planned for it. So I don't have to worry about it now. It's going to get done later.
Mm. Okay. So there's a system of getting you to organize and also but with the guiding principle of your intention and a few areas of your life, and then you making sure that whatever items that in the planner is aligned to your intention, and then you felt at peace yourself.
And
Yeah.
sometimes things fall a little apart. I mean, um, my sabbatical is coming up in April, and
Mm.
I'm going on a trip with my sister. And then I do an annual trip with my girlfriends from Toronto and Ottawa.
Mm.
And that trip happens to land in the same month as the trip with my sister.
Mm.
And then I had an opportunity, came up to go to Barcelona with another girlfriend a month prior. And this is not slowing down. It's not really simple to manage that much travel. And it's not settling in to change. It's actually introducing more change into my routine to do this. And also, I've been wanting to go to Europe for years and I've never been. And now I have two opportunities to go with others who are going to do
Mm.
most of the planning for me. And I'm
Mm.
going, honestly, if I'm traveling with my kids, it's not a vacation, it's a trip. And I have
Mm.
to be paying attention to a lot of things. But when I'm traveling with my sister or I'm traveling with my girlfriend, that is a vacation.
Yeah.
So, my guiding principle is just that it is guiding. And also, if something comes up that is so exciting that it lights me up like this,
Mm.
then I won't
Yeah.
say no to it. Like, this is a very special opportunity. I don't want to say no to it. So
Mm.
I'm going to figure out how to manage slowing down and settling in and simplifying, but not in the month of April.
Mm.
It's going to
It
be
seems
different.
like it seems a law of attraction, right? So you've been thinking about Europe trip, suddenly it comes like this and even something better, right? Into your life.
Yeah. And it's funny because that Barcelona trip, um, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. And so I booked a different work trip at that same time. And then just a couple weeks ago, well, and then my friend who she's gone on this trip before. And so I asked
Yeah.
her, are you doing that? And she said no. And I said, okay, then I booked this customer visit. And then I had to cancel that trip. So that period of time was open. And then my friend said, guess what? Actually, I am going. And I said, guess what? I'm actually free. So
Oh,
things really did line up very nicely that I can go.
yeah. Fantastic. And I like to say this joke to my friend. I just came back from China for my family vacation. And I put it like if the kids is there and the parents is there, is I told them it's a babysitting trip, just a different place.
Yeah,
Just the
you're not wrong. There's a lot to be responsible for, especially when your parents are there too. And
yeah.
I have to plan one of those for this year as well. And
Mm,
I mean, I love doing it. I think it's great for everybody, and it's not a vacation. I'll have moments of vacation in there, but generally speaking, that's 5 people to keep track of and make sure. And everybody's got different desires and needs and opinions, and everybody is there to have a good time. So
it's a choice of responsibility. I remember when I was young, my mom, I don't know if they stress over me, but I don't think they so stress over me, and probably you don't think the moment that they bring us out is stress over us. It's a sense of responsibility that and a high responsibility that we put in ourselves, that we want to take care of them, take care of their emotion. I don't beat my kids, I don't scold my kids, and it add up the stress.
Sure, sure. When we choose to be in very respectful ways with people who are driving us crazy,
Mm,
there's a
mm,
great deal of self-control needed.
mm, mm. Ratika, just now you mentioned about sitting on it, getting clarity. What is, I mean, yeah, tell me more. How can how can I be in peace about no action as the actions? How can I'm not sure, ensuring myself that this is the right thing to do. Uh, no action means that you think about sitting, like for us doing some meditation for 30 minutes to 1 hour. We are sitting there with our thoughts. It really feels like doing nothing. What will you say about that? No action as an inaction as an action.
Well, rest is required. Rest is mandatory. Rest is self-care, and it is part of the formula for vibrant health. It's just as important as eating well, staying hydrated, watching your sugar, getting your annual checkups. And maybe even the most important thing, rest is rest is a requirement.
Mm,
That's it. So you have to give yourself that. I know that when I'm tired, when I feel overwhelmed, I don't show up well for the people around me. I'm distracted. I'm short-tempered. I'm not present.
mm,
People can't get to the point fast enough. I don't want to give my kids the space and the time to learn something. I just want to do it for them and get it done because I got another thing on my list. And
mm,
nobody, not me and not anyone around me benefits if I load up my schedule, if I load up my life and I'm bouncing from one thing to the other with no break in between. It doesn't serve anybody. I think coming to that realization either by experience or trusting somebody else's experience is what helps someone get to peace around doing less.
Hmm.
It's
How are
hard.
you?
I know, because I'm used
How
to be
you?
very productive too. In fact, I was just telling my son this today. We were in the car and I was telling him, last night I wanted to watch a movie and work on our photo album from last year. So every year in January, I make our family photo album from the previous year. And it's one of the things on my list in January. Got to get that album done. And so I thought last night I could put on a movie and work on it. And I mean, I used to always do that. I felt like sitting and watching a movie and just doing that was so unproductive. I always had to be doing something else while I was watching a movie. But
Hmm.
lately, what I've found is I don't like that anymore. When I watch a movie or I watch a TV show, I just want to sit and watch it. I don't want to do anything else. So I had to tell myself today that from now on, you can watch something or you can do something.
Hmm.
You can't really do both. I used to be able to do both. I used to enjoy, I used to prefer. That's how I used to do stuff, but not anymore.
Okay. Some similarity. I want to, how would you? I will. I won't share my student and see how you deal with it. Right. Sometimes I just wanted to sit and look at my phone. Say. Then somebody interrupted. Maybe the kids, parents, mm, the spouse or whatever interrupted, and then it seems very urgent. It sounds very urgent, and it just disrupt the flow of you enjoying. How you? What's your strategy in managing that?
Um, well, one thing is I tell my kids that I don't mom after 9 p.m.
Mm,
So they can come and sit with me. We can talk about stuff. They can ask for things, but I will make no decisions. I will do no work. I'll do no activity for them. Now, granted, they're older than your kids are.
mm, mm, mm,
Um, but at this point now in the way our schedule is in our home and their bedtime and my bedtime and all of that, my bedtime routine and everything, I've told them after 9 o'clock, I'm not momming.
mm,
So
mm.
that protects that period of time. And that is sometimes when I'm looking at my phone. Um, if I am doing something to relax and enjoy myself before 9 p.m. and somebody comes and asks for something, um, I mean, if it's urgent, I'll get up and do it right away.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's actually a good break because I've been watching YouTube for long enough and I need to get up, and this is a good way to get me up.
Mm,
And sometimes if I'm really into it, I'll say yes, and it's not urgent, then I'll say, yeah, I'll come and help you with that in a half hour.
mm. Okay. All right.
I
Yeah.
think a lot of that comes down to boundaries again, right? And clarity. And knowing what am I doing right now? I'm looking at my phone. Am I just scrolling mindlessly? Should I get up and do something? Or is this mindless scrolling serving me? Because I
Mm,
just need downtime. You
yeah.
know, it's and this is where I think you meditate and I do too. And this is a when we do that, we have that practice of being present in the moment, what's going on. And it's easier to tap into it and see what am I doing right now? Why am I doing it? What do I want to be doing?
Mm, mm. Since you are touching about the meditation, just to get your routine, like how do you prime yourself or how do you trigger yourself to meditate? Or if we talk about the QCT, the quick Korean techniques, how do you trigger yourself to do it? Like, is that a similar cadence? What's your strategies?
Yeah, I have a post-it note in the bathroom And so that I do quick coherence when I'm brushing my teeth.
Okay. Okay.
I have another post-it in the office to remind me
Mm,
to do quick coherence when I have moments there. Uh, it's still a little bit of a habit to do it when I'm talking to people to get me in the right place, right? Like we can do quick coherence
mm,
even when we're talking to somebody. It's simple, right? You do heart
yeah.
focused breathing, slow down your breath, breathe from your heart, and then you feel a good feeling. And so, I mean, you can do that in conversation. I did it actually at the beginning of this call. So when
Yeah.
we started, I felt like I was a little in my head. And so
Mm,
as you were doing the introduction and we began, I was doing quick coherence to
I
get
guess.
me into my heart. So I have a habit of and a practice of doing it at times when I feel like I need to be in my heart and I'm not.
Mm, mm,
Um, Beyond that, to be honest, I've fallen a little out of a lot of my routines coming out of the holidays. And I need to, and things around here have changed a bit. The boys' wake up schedule, bedtime schedule, everything's different than it used to be. It used to be really simple. I would wake up and I would meditate every morning and then work out and then get ready for work and all of this. And, um, I told you there were a lot of changes last year that have changed every aspect of my life. Returning to the office is one of them. And so my
mm,
morning routine is very different. That half an hour that I used to spend on self care, whether it was working out or meditating, I now have to spend packing my lunch and getting my breakfast together and, doing all of those things that I have to do because I have to go into the office. Um, and I haven't quite settled in, right? That was the second of my intentions in my guiding principle for this year, right? Slow down, settle in. Settling into the changes is how do I bring meditation back in? Now, I will say that for me, um, my connection to my higher power, like that's what I see meditation can be as well. Sometimes means sitting quietly
mm-hmm.
and being present and bringing my thoughts back to my breath when I wander off. But I find journaling to be a super powerful way for me to connect with my higher power. And
Mm,
that I do many nights a week at night. I'm sorry, many nights a week. So I do have a routine of going into the calming corner in our house, which has our temple and it has inhale, exhale signs, and it has some incense and it has a plant. And it's a very special, sacred area in our home. It's not very big, but that's where I used to sit with the boys to do quick coherence when they were younger.
mm,
They used to
mm,
sit and do it for
mm,
11 minutes.
mm.
um, so I will go in there and I have a daily reader, spiritual daily reader. So I read that and I write in my happiness journal just a few lines. And then I go to my bedroom and pull out my basket. And one of the things I have in my basket is my journal. So then I might, if I feel like it, I was much more regular about it last year. I wrote almost every night last year. This year it's fallen apart, but I try to do it a few times a week. And writing is one way of me getting to that connection.
Yeah.
But
Mm,
I have to figure out my mornings because I'm as active as I am Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm so stagnant Monday through Thursday, and I want to bring a little bit more exercise and meditation time into my mornings. I gotta just figure out how.
mm. Then touch base a bit on the parenting. How would you rate yourself 1 to 10? 10 like, yes, you're the best mom ever, right? So where are you? 1 to 10.
I'm probably a 7. I
Mm,
think other people would say maybe a little more, but I would say a 7.
mm. But what's the areas that you would change to improve? this year? So,
Well, I'm in kind of new territory. As teenagers, they require a lot more autonomy. Um, but they're also teenagers. They don't always think and plan realistically.
mm,
And I I'm a conflict avoider. So if we make deals and they don't follow through and I have to execute on the consequence and I know
mm,
I'm gonna throw a fit, I don't want to do it. So parenting teenagers is a whole different thing. I think I did the other thing okay, but this one's a lot harder because although they're twins, they are very different. So
mm,
I'm trying to figure out how to raise two different teenagers at the same time.
mm,
And the rules that apply to one don't apply to the other. The approaches, the methods that work for one don't work for the other. And I was an entirely different teenager than either of them. So nothing that I did works for them. So I'm really kind of shooting blind here. Um, so, so I think that's the part that's really hard. How do I hold them accountable without nagging or micromanaging? Because I'm a planner, right? And neither of them are.
mm.
So how do I help them in a way that works for them?
Yeah. Control the uncontrollable. Yeah. Something very challenging. Yeah. Mm,
Yeah, there's, ugh, it's hard. It's hard and it's great. They're also really fun companions at this age. Um,
yeah.
I mean, the last time we traveled, my son put my carry-on in the overhead for me.
Oh,
I didn't have to do that. He's taller than me. He's bigger than me.
fair
He's
enough.
stronger than me.
Fair enough.
My other one made me eggs the other day.
Bro, I think I saw them like 10 to now. I think within 3 years, I think they grew significantly, exponentially
Yeah,
taller.
yeah, they did.
The
It,
time they're
it's
still
so
very
so far so
short of me.
quickly. I still remember when one of them was only up to here, and
Mm,
now I think I might be up to here on him. He might be,
mm,
a head taller than me.
mm. So like looking ahead, what would you work on or focus on, Ratika, like moving ahead? Any thoughts this year? Maybe I say like maybe another 5 years.
What am I
What do
working on in the next 5 years? Probably the biggest area in which I will learn the most in the next 5 years will be parenting, because I'm just at the beginning of this journey. And in the next 5 years, they're going to start and finish high school and go on to college. Right. So there will be lots and lots to learn there. Yeah. I guess along with that, as they get older and more independent, I get more free time.
mm,
And so what I end up doing with that, if I'm doing more to teach more, coach more,
yeah.
all of that may be a part of what I dive into. I mean, the coming year is the year of the horse, right? So there's action and momentum to happen this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see what kind of action and momentum I take in my year of slowing down and settling in and simplifying. That
Mm,
I may
mm,
be taking action in that some way. I don't know.
mm, mm. Fantastic. So let us wind out with some of the repeat fire questions that I probably asked you, and then whatever pops to your mind, just you can answer that. All right. So
Okay.
Ratika, if you would have hypothetically a huge gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say and why?
Oh, a billboard? Um,
That you can spread the message to anyone, like millions of people. right? What would it say and why?
Oh my God, so many things are coming to my mind. I I would probably figure out a more poetic way to say it, but I think it would be something like slow down and be present. I think everybody's moving way too fast. Slow down, be present, and get clear.
Mm, thank you. Okay. Ratika, what are one or the most worthy investment that you have made? It can be anything, right? It can be
Oh,
tangible or
I guess it would be my kids. We used a surrogate, and so they were pretty expensive. I started saving when I got engaged, so I'd have the money to pay for a surrogate. So I think they were the most worthy investment I made, my kiddos.
sharing. In the last 5 years, what are new belief, behavior, or habits that have most improved your life?
Uh, I think the spiritual journey that I mentioned earlier that I went on in 2024 has changed my life and my approach the most.
Hmm, okay. So, last one would be, what advice would you give to your 25 years old self?
Oh, to my younger self, what advice
Yes.
would I give to my younger
Yeah,
self?
25 years old self.
35. Okay, at
Two five,
35.
two five,
Oh,
25.
25. 25. Okay, at 25, let's see, that was in 25. That was in 98. So I was just working. I was in my first year of working. My first year of working. Okay. Uh, you know what? That one's really good because I feel like I've managed okay. Like a lot of the key decisions that I've made, I've thought very deliberately about and I've gotten really clear about, and I've felt pretty good about that have led me here. So I guess I would tell my 25-year-old heart to do that. Be clear, listen to your heart. Yeah, be clear, listen to your heart, and be open to what others share with you,
Hmm,
like advice wise, like really take other people's advice and ideas to heart. Not that I necessarily will do everything, I still have to make sure that it fits for me, but I would say don't be too quick to shut out what others may offer.
hmm, thank you. And is there anything else that you wanted to say to our audience? Anything that I missed out that you wanted to say?
Mm, I think the fact that you're listening to this podcast means that you're looking to be better. I'd invite you to identify some action that you want to take from this podcast as well as any any podcast or book or anything that you learn from. You're obviously a lifelong learner like me, so action it, do something with it, share it,
Hmm,
so that it really makes a difference for you.
right. So to end this, Ratika, if someone want to find and get to know more about you and your teaching and your principle, where can people find you? Right.
Ratika, oh, actually, I have a website, www.toyourpassionatelife.com. TOYOUR passionatelife.com.
Thank you. And we will also include those things that you shared in the description below later so that people can click and go to you.
Yeah.
And want to end with this. Behind the darkness there's always lights. All right, Tika.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing this short podcast with us. And then yeah, let's see.